Right now, we are going live, and yeah. So, Josh, where are you sitting in your car? Is that like what you're doing right now?
I'm sitting in a semi. Hi, how's it
Hi,
going?
pretty good. Are you? I could tell you were like in a cab, but so I saw. Okay, so I saw a dude one time. He was parked. He had a had the truck and trailer, right? Okay, and
Yeah.
he had disconnected himself from his trailer and swung the truck around and pointed at his truck straight at the side of his trailer. And then on his dash, he got a projection thing and was projecting a movie up onto the side of his own trailer,
That's kind of a neat idea.
so that this way he could just park and have literally a giant screen, and he had all the audio running through the auxiliary in his rig. I was like,
Cool.
that is actually incredibly clever. I don't see why not everyone does that. Everyone should be doing that. That seems like a really great thing. We're joined by One Live View. Hey, look, it's Jones, Cheryl Jones.
Hey, Ma.
Hey,
Mom. We have the actual Nightmare Hunter right here with us.
What up, Nightmare Hunter?
My mom got her copy in the mail today. She's excited to start reading it.
He's not saying it. He's like, nice.
I've been told, especially by my cousin, who I want to point out, her name was Patty Figueroa Gonzalez.
For like a day.
Yeah,
it was Noriega.
It's gone to Noriega.
Has it gone back to Gonzalez, though?
I don't know. So I wonder. I'm like, I don't know. Is it going to be that way now? I said, she's my cousin. Everyone, Matt, did you know that people thought that she was me?
Oh.
Apparently, people were watching the programs when she would be on, and every time she would comment, I would look down, or my hands were on the keyboard, and people were actually saying, "Raj, that's pretty cool. You're sharp, but they're not that sharp. Patty's not real, huh?"
I can verify with 100% certainty they are separate people.
And that is, yeah.
I have seen a picture of her holding the Nightmare Hunter book.
Yes.
And I've heard her voice.
That's a stand-in. It's a stunt double.
Oh, she's a crisis actor.
Oh,
you know what's interesting though? I told DA
before you do that though, we need to acknowledge.
No, I already did.
The general in the room. We need to acknowledge the general in the room.
Oh yeah, that one,
Mr. Dalton.
General Dalton.
And we've got one love on us so far. Loving that.
Sweet. Yeah, I told DA, I go, you just need to hire Patty now as like your advertising manager, because she is just out there beating the pavement, or the internet, if you will, with this book, and she's killing it.
I am really stunned by it. We did get another like, by the way, but as far as Patty, she did speak to me. She thinks I've already read the book as well. Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Sorry.
You got to slow roll that up.
Right. I've got to get on that. But you know what? She told me, and I think she already said it on air or told DA. Actually, I think she was live with us. She was, "You're still live," and then she cut out. But, oh, that's right. You heard her voice. That's right. She was on the phone call.
She sent over an audio clip to the group chat you tagged up, Josh.
Oh yeah, we're in a group chat. She's actually helping. She's a part of a small group of alpha readers for my book.
Folks, she's a lot of fun, and as a matter of fact, I was a bit resentful last week when she said, "What a flake," and I was like, "Okay." The only thing I said was, "Of all the things you needed to say, Betty."
I jumped on that.
Oh, you did? I don't know. I just saw the comment and I lost my
because she double dipped you there. Not only did she call you a fake,
really?
She threw the D in there too, and I'm like, well, Roger with a D might be a flake, but Roger without a D is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he did. I remember.
I
that.
had you. I had you.
Funny. I appreciate that.
I do remember that. Guys?
She is a massive fan. But do you know what she said about DA's book, this most recent one? She says, and without an insult, she says, it is a simple read. It is addicting. It moves very well. I think she read it over a day and a quarter.
Wow.
So she read it fast, and I said, "Okay, sweetheart, when you read 2 books in a weekend, come talk to me." But besides that, it's all good. DA knows that I read 2 books in a weekend.
I'm super excited to get my story finished up. I've got most of the components there. I'm trying to bridge some connections. It goes back to the very first day of the outbreak as it lets loose in Ragnarok Rising.
But I understand this. Not only is it like that, it's an actual tie-in, is it not?
It is, because in his stories at a
So-
later point in time, he actually makes references to my characters coming to show up at one of his camps.
Oh, so you got into the Ragnarok Rising?
I've been tied in for years now.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Roper was an alpha reader for Ragnarok.
I was
I
actually
was
with
as well. For
I was-
2 of the books.
I was with him in the jail working on the original concept stuff
Yes.
before pen even hit paper.
So in that, Matt, I knew of you indirectly because DA did after the first interview, and I don't know if people have heard this story, but after the first interview, where we've now admitted to each other, we've come clean that we were both nervous for the interview because we just were, and we hit it off instantly. And after that, we started talking, and by the second book, he was joining Blog Talk Radio on a regular basis. I was doing a program on disasters and stuff, and he joined the radio program and he started giving from a first responder point of view.
Yep.
And it was absolutely awesome because I was talking about the emergency packets that we had and stuff he had to do. But ever since then, DA started up. And then when we found out that we both loved Clancy, it was beyond orgasmic.
It was love at first speak.
It was love at first techno thriller.
You know what's interesting though? You were his first interviewer. He was our first guest on the first rendition of this show.
Yeah.
The very first episode.
Have you ever? Okay. I know that I had mentioned it to you at one point in time. Have you ever? Oh my God! Okay, I got to try it again. Okay.
Yeah. You got hosting duties now, bro.
Oh, I saw that as well, folks.
Okay.
Josh said about the Green Knight. My daughter and I went to go see.
Oh,
that.
Man, I want to go see it. I want to go see it.
Okay, I don't want to say anything, but gee, General, you and I have absolutely nothing to talk about.
Wong Jan Taramani.
Last time you did it in one go.
In one go. But I'm also walking over the top of him as he's talking, so I don't want to do that. Hola.
Hey, Patty.
What's up? That is not Roger with a D or without a D.
I think everyone knows that. She called me at Hooters, and she wanted to know why I was there. And I'm like, at this age, woman, if I have to pay for it, what's a shock? I had to pay for it. So I was there at Hooters.
In some capacity, we're all paying for it.
That is funny. That was a genuine man joke in every which way. But
Well,
folks,
I didn't specify man or woman. I said that in some way we're all paying for it.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. We went to see the Jungle Cruise yesterday, and we also went to see the Green Knight. So it was really. Geez,
I look forward to seeing both of those.
Must you say everything?
Yes.
Woman, have we met?
This is Roger. I can't stop.
I can't tell whether or not she means him or me because I keep talking.
That's why I thought the two of you doing this show is perfect. You both love entertainment and you both love to talk.
So Roger, I never told you about what had happened originally. When
I meant that as a compliment, Roger.
When I was first putting this together. So our friend, he goes by the handle Dire Monkey. He's on one of our other. He was
Dire
on.
Monkey.
Yeah.
He used to be the producer for the old show.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Aren't they supposed to be like dire wolves?
Yes, but his was
technically you can have dire any animal. You can have
a dire any animal. Yes.
Yeah, but a dire wolf is clearly intimidating. A dire monkey, well, go ahead.
Yeah, Dire Monkey. No. So Dire Monkey was our studio engineer. He handled all the soundboards and stuff like that. But as he got in touch with me, right, he first found out that I was running this podcast, and he goes, "Just all 5 minutes state of the nerd."
What did we do?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
The word itself, you know what it is, right? Cochino.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's.
I used to be called a cochino marrano a lot.
Oh, that's like stuttering though. Cochino marrano. Because marranos are also referred to as cochinos.
I'm going to need a breakdown.
A variation of Dirty Pig, more or less.
She just said cochinos. You like dirty guys. You guys were dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I
She
don't
saw the
remember being
first
dirty.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
She
I don't
said
know.
first 5 minutes of State of the Nerd 3 days ago.
Gonna have to load it back up afterwards.
Dirty pig.
Figure out what we did wrong.
Dirty pigs. All right. Yeah, they're calling us dirty pig. I don't know what I did, but anyway, so my friend Dire Monkey got a hold of me. He was like, "So here you're going to be running this podcast. You got this show going on." I'm like, "Yeah, it's going to be great." He's like, super excited about it. One thing you need to know whenever you're doing anything podcast related is to make sure that you don't have any dead air, right? I said, okay, yeah. He goes, no dead air. You don't want dead air. That's terrible for podcast work. He goes, however, you're going to be running the show, right? I said, yeah.
We don't have to worry about that.
He goes, well, then there's not going to be any dead air. You never shut the hell up. And I'm like, sweet action. And what's funny is that my supervisor that I used to have, Rover is going to try to talk over Roger. Roger's going to talk over Matt. And oh my God. Well, we take turns. Oh, I love listening to myself talk, Patty. I love. I don't have any problem going back and listening to myself talk. I just don't know in what capacity I was.
I do it for quality. He does it for personal reasons.
Yeah, I like hearing my voice.
So the funny thing is, I was told by another co-host on Blog Talk Radio. They said, Roger, when you go back and listen to your program, I said, wait, what? You do what? He says, yeah, when you go back and listen to the program and you hear all the painful mistakes and errors and all that stuff, and then you try to correct it. I said, dude, I know what the hell I'm doing the first time around. I don't need to hear my voice the second time around.
I like listening.
Bear my voice.
I like listening to the show after the fact for a couple of different reasons. I get a good laugh out of it, but at the same time, I also like to listen to myself argue a point or somebody else argue a point and then follow up on those points at a later time to find out whether or not there can be more that needs to be clarified, or maybe we weren't making a point very well, or whatever the case may be. Does that come in small, medium, or large? You want whipped cream on the coffee?
Sure.
All right.
Is he talking about mine?
I don't know.
Great question.
Oh, but by the way, gentlemen, notice. Forgive me. I know. Here we go. Notice.
No, I know what he meant.
Patty Figueroa Noriega.
Oh, she didn't change it. I know what Josh meant. He heard Cochino Marano wants to know if that comes in a large or small if you put whipped cream on it. Because it does. Without context, it sounds like a coffee. Give me the dirty pig with whipped cream. Slather that bitch up.
There's your answer right there.
Vente Cochino Marano.
Do you know, Matt, that
I feel like Josh needs to get that as a tattoo.
Oh.
Maybe a shirt, not a tattoo. I'm not that committed.
Patty did talk about going in the next 2 weeks. So she's waiting for the shirt or whatever she ordered. She's waiting for it because when we go and do the axe throwing, she wants to film it and of course be in uniform.
Nice.
So she figures she's going to win this. Oh, there it is.
That's the axe. That is the axe.
That is the one. That's the one that I've been cleaning up and working on.
So that's
Josh, don't do tattoos. So say it to your mom.
I have tattoos. What the hell is she talking about?
Really? I can't see him from here.
I mean, hold on. Oh wait, not on this show.
Whoa!
We're still.
We lost
no, Josh, Mama's here.
Yeah, we're still not linked to OnlyFans yet. When StreamYard adds that as a destination, we'll change.
We lost a viewer during that. Jiminy Christmas.
You know what? I don't feel so bad anymore because when PA was doing his program on Wednesday, he had like 70. He had like 70 people. And then I started talking, and it dropped to like 65. And then it dropped to 60.
They came back. It's fine.
They did.
Who's throwing you under the bus, Patty?
Oh, she's talking about me.
Oh, well, don't throw her under the bus. So
Patty didn't talk to you anymore if you'd be throwing me under the bus. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not me. But I did say that she did bring it up, and we're trying to get the thing where we're going to do the axe story.
Sweet.
So we're both going to go.
Awesome.
And what's holding us back, not me, Patty, but you, so we can do the competition. But I have to tell you that Patty did say she wants to be in uniform because she knows she's going to win anyway. So she might as well dress the part. Oh! All right, folks, we do apologize. Matt, I don't know if you did see that.
I just saw
we
that.
may be having a bit of a technical difficulty on our Twitch stream.
Yeah.
So we do apologize, folks. Hopefully, if you are on Twitch, you'll let us know. And let us know if we're on Twitch right now.
Yeah, hopefully it's not having...
Matt, that's probably why some of the numbers went down. That's no accident.
I think she said that she left and then came back. Let's see here. Okay, so we are at the 15-minute mark. I'm going to run the opener for Spoilercast right about now. So we're
Officially going to kick it off.
We're going to start this show right now. Here we go.
Warning, the Spoilercast does contain spoilers of current and past movies, books, video games, TV shows, and possibly your life. So if you're listening to a show called Spoilercast and you're pissed off that we gave away spoilers, we really don't care. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.
Boom. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Welcome to Spoilercast. Today is the 30th of what month is this? Like July or something like that?
Still July.
It's
July.
So,
July.
If you're listening to this actively today, we appreciate you being in the chat with us as of right now. Send us some comments, things of that nature, new movies, TV shows, things of that nature that you have watched, things that you might want us to discuss on here. If you're listening to us in the future, same thing. Send us some comments, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We'd like you to join us on all of our feeds, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all of that good stuff. Start driving those numbers up. We managed to hit our 500 mark not that long ago, and we did a giveaway for that. As of right now, we are doing a giveaway for an axe. That's what I was just showing a picture of just a moment ago. If you'd like to see that, go back and listen to this with the video portion of things, maybe on the YouTube video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff there. Buttons, buttons, buttons. But if you'd like to get enrolled with the ability to win said axe, all you need to do is show up at your own local axe house, get some pictures of you throwing and participating, and then post it up on the link on the Facebook page for us here at Altar Media, and you will be entered in the ability to win said axe. And Roger was saying that he and Patty are looking at going here pretty quick themselves, so they're going to be... I have an axe for you nonetheless, so yours isn't necessarily that one. I do have something specifically for you, Roger, so that's going to be a thing. Patty, I'm going to make one specifically for you as well, just because you're being a great sport about all this and dragging him along and making him go do it. Just saying. Calling him out this time around. Boom, there it is. So, gentlemen, I'm joined by Josh and Roger. Josh, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. Just happy to join you two fine fellas here on a place to rant about shit. I got stuff to say, but roll on.
Cool. And Roger, how you doing, friend?
I'm actually doing well. I want to thank you again for having this program. And I've been fortunate, folks. I've seen, I think, 5 movies in the last week, but 3 in the last 2 days.
Holy crap.
I saw The Purge yesterday.
Nice.
Jungle Cruise. Folks, I don't want to give anything other than that it may be a pleasant surprise.
I mean, this
Seriously.
is Spoilercast.
That's not how that works. You
Oh,
talk about
I see.
everything.
Spoilercast.
But
Folks,
hey,
I think
apologies.
you're going to enjoy it. I really do. Because I don't want to build it up bigger than it is.
Right.
Because it sucks. People do that, and you go in, and it's actually a good movie, but you expected more.
Right. So I know Josh is kind of crunched on time because
Literally right now, I have to go. Unfortunately, my trailer's done about a half an hour earlier than usual. Good for a Friday, but bad for being on the show. Let me just say my 2 cents, and I got to go.
You wanted to talk about He-Man.
He-Man was, Master of the Universe,
There
Patty.
you go.
It's called Master of the Universe, Patty. That's an old joke. But anyways, she chewed me out for pounding it multiple times.
Yeah.
Master of the Universe was really fucking good. It's part 1. Let's see what happens in part 2. Mattel would not let Kevin Smith kill off He-Man. And I don't understand woke culture. I think woke is the dumbest damn word. It was a good story, and I really liked it. And people who saying that Tila isn't hot with her side cut doesn't know what good looking is. So I got to go. Peace.
Carol
See ya.
says bye, son.
Bye, son.
Oh, yeah. Very good,
got it.
Matt. We both got that in.
I got it. I got it the first 100 times.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you watched Masters of the Universe at all?
No, well, I mean, of course, but
Okay.
not the one you guys are
Not
talking about. Is
not
it
the
a new
re-up.
movie or what?
No. Okay. So, Kevin Smith. You know Kevin Smith.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I actually referred to you as the Kevin Smith of cryptids at one point in time, and you wrote that in your notebook. Don't look surprised. You can check your notes.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
You definitely made note of it because you end up picking up the notepad and you're like, I write it down right here. See? And I'm like, I see. I was like, I didn't doubt you. So what he's referring to is on Netflix, they created, or Kevin Smith created this whole Masters of the Universe continuation of the original He-Man story arc. So like where that ends, it just picks up and continues on.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
it is super well done.
Okay.
The very first episode, both He-Man and Skeletor fight it big time. They're both gone. And then for the rest of the rest of that season, you're just following Tila, and she's mad as hell that no one has bothered to tell her that Adam is He-Man. And so she feels betrayed and she feels lied to, and rightfully so in some respects. But at the same time, everybody's like, they did it for your protection. They did it because, not everybody knew. I mean, even the king didn't know. Like there's a lot of stuff that's going on there, but she feels the most hurt as a result of it. And Patty, you are right. It is so good. It really, really, really is. And then Adam. Hi, Adam. I enjoyed it, even after I realized I didn't remember the original Master of the Universe as well as I thought. Same. Now, what's the little doofus wizard that's floating around with him on a regular basis? What's his name?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
Somebody will
exactly.
chat. You know who I'm talking about. I hate him.
they will.
I hate him. I've hated him the entire time. I hated him back in the day. Loved him in this, surprisingly. Like, okay, created a great story arc for him. Yes, it's supposed to be Oracle, but it's Orko. Hate him. I hate him. I hated him back in the day. But now in this, I was like, that's a really great, compelling story for him, and they did a really good job with it. But then by the end of it, you end up getting back around to having He-Man back in the world again, only to be robbed of him a second time. And I still speculate that he's not dead. But there was an interview with Kevin Smith that he's like, what's going to happen when people see that we killed him twice? And I'm like, I don't think he's dead. I really don't think he's dead. And of course, it's fantasy. So, like, it doesn't mean you're dead. It just means that, like, you're dead for right now. You might not be dead later. It reminds me of the Gunslinger story for Stephen King. Did you ever read those?
Oh, I know Gunslinger, of course. Yeah.
So the first one, you're introduced to the Gunslinger, and then as you're following him along, all of the characters that he meets end up dying. All of the people he interacts with dies, and then at the end of it, he ends up, losing the boy because he drops Jake off the side of the railroad tracks, and he falls to his death, and then he catches up with the man in black. And then by the time that whole scene's over with, the man in black is dead, so he's all by himself again. And there was an article that I was reading with Stephen King where he was talking about that. And he was like, so what do you do with the character when you've killed off literally every single other character in the story? Like, where do you go from there? And then that's whenever he goes into drawing of the three and starts pulling characters back. And he's like, well, it's fantasy. You can do anything you want. Fantasy. It's fantasy. And I love that. So, yeah. Ka is a wheel, and time is a circle, and so badly I love the Pirates of Dark Water. Love Pirates of Dark Water. Literally one of my favorite cartoons back in the day. That and my recently rediscovered favorite cartoon, which is SWAT Cats. And I
remember that. I don't remember Pirates though of Dark Water.
Man, Pirates of Dark Water is easily one of my favorites. It had Tim Curry as one of the voice actors for it. It's phenomenal. I love it. Yeah, they've got this. They got this thing. He's a monkey bird, He's red and he's got giant, like he looks like a giant parrot, but with a monkey's face and a beak. And
Tim Curry?
yeah, Tim Curry. And
What
then
has he not done, both figuratively and literally?
I mean, he's been in a lot of things. I actually sat down and rewatched the movie Congo the other day, and the general remembers Noiji Tat. That's a thing. That's the cuss word that they used in this, because they would refer to things as Noiji Tat and monkey birds, and they had manga melons. And they had like this whole thing, but ultimately it's a world, it's a pirate planet, and there are 13 pieces of like jewelry that are the jewels of rule, I believe is what they were called. And there's this stuff called dark water that it's like sentient, but it's literally just infesting and infecting the entire planet. And like it'll reach up and like grab a ship and pull it down into the water and stuff like that. Well, the only thing that can eliminate it is these jewels, and so they're trying to collect the jewels in order to be able to combat the dark water. The problem is that there's a pirate king named Bloth that is constantly chasing after him, and he's also trying to steal it, but he wants it for himself. So I loved that show, so good, but it was very limited when I could find it, but.
This is how serious I am. You know that Matt stated that I take notes.
Yeah,
on my OneNote on one of my screens. I don't know if you can see it, but these are the notes for today. All the likes and all the programs. So even though I'm not on the first episode, I kept going to my right because I was using my notepad. I have OneNote open right now. So I already have Master of the Universe Netflix,
nice.
Pirates of Dark Water, and SWAT Cats. I remember SWAT Cats. That's
so good. Yet the two main characters there, it is Dark Water, a great 80s weirdness. And let's see here. Josh, the general says, hard to go back and watch a train wreck when you've been scolded to death by the stream. I don't know what were scolded to death about.
Okay,
but let me
folks, this was an elegant moment of interpretation of East America to Central America. But I think this is the only time I can really say this. I think you read a lot more in there than there really is.
I read hard to go back and watch a train wreck when you've been scolded to death by the stream. Steam.
Yahtzee! Good job.
And then he specifically replied back with Steam.
All right, General.
Interesting. So
Matt, excuse me, your book, are we going to refer to it as, let me see, if Rogue One was a Star Wars story, are we going to call it a Ragnarok story or a Ragnarok Rising story?
Okay, for those of you, because you guys, this actually occurred pre-show. We were talking about D.A. Roberts, our friend D.A. Roberts, wrote a bunch of books, a whole bunch of books. One of the series is Ragnarok Rising, and back in the day, I came up with my own offshoot within that same universe, and I started working on it, and I've been intermittently working on it, and it started and stopped and all that good stuff. But I'm about halfway through it at this point in time, and I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this year because, as we all should know, the beginning of this next year marks 10 years that Ragnarok Rising has been out, and so my story parallels it, and I'm starting it all the way back over at the very beginning. And so you're getting all of the stuff from day one that was occurring here in Springfield, but told from a point of view of characters that are adjacent to his characters. They're friends. They have some overlapping friends, but they don't necessarily know one another. My characters are referenced in his books at one point in time when they're at the underground. They're talking about Gage and his crew showing up, and they're only mentioned. You don't actually interact with them. You don't end up seeing them as far as from the point of view of the reader, but you have read about them because that's been the plan all along, is to have something of this nature at a later point in time. I am going and have planned on writing 4 stories for this, for my characters, and I have a running theme that I'm working with where I want to focus on. I can't with all the books. I can't keep up with all the books. There's a lot of them. There is a lot of them.
Have
But
you read all of them, Matt?
I've not. I'm still behind the 8 ball on all that.
I'm embarrassingly enough, I am the two most recent. One of them being my namesake, and the one which is the Apex Predator.
Yep.
And then we have the oh my goodness, the Team Odin.
Yep.
Or not Team Odin, but the oh
Wild
my
Hunt.
God, Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
And then of course the Hunter. But I'm already getting messages about that one, so I have to hurry. So
Heck yeah.
she says I have to be ready to go by Monday because we're actually going to be interviewing. And you know, Matt, I apologize. I think I'm going to get into one of the announcements.
Sure.
This Monday for everyone, we're actually going to have DA as a guest, not necessarily as a co-host, because we're going to be talking about the book, which is Uncanny Valley, the Nightmare Hunter, Uncanny Valley. But we also have a tiny surprise guest. For those of you that know and don't know him, Larry Nemechek. He is known as Dr. Trek. He's written several books, and I don't have his Star Maps book right here, and I should have it. He's going to be joining us for at least the first 20 minutes to talk about what's going on in his universe. He arranges for field trips to Star Trek sites in Los Angeles, Nevada areas, and I believe Arizona, where they've been filming. And since he was there during the Next Generation, all that stuff, he arranges for these tours.
Well, that's awesome.
And he's got 2 of them coming up.
So August 2nd is whenever you guys will be having that. That's this coming up Monday.
Yes.
So yeah, that'll be awesome. Everybody, if you have the opportunity to tune in and partake in some of that, that'll be fantastic to go over. As I was saying, I've got 4 stories planned out, and I want to hit the 4 seasons of a year, but it's not going to take place within a year. I want to focus on different stories that actually take place within specific things. So my first one, I have actually come up with a name, and I call it Blood and Sunshine. And so that's going to be my first story is
Blood and Summer.
It will be for summer. That's right. And so each of the names, and I've come up with 3 of the other names. So I have 3 names of the 4. And so Blood and Sunshine is what I'm calling the first one. The others, I'm doing some form of a word that would be associated with death and decay of some variety. Okay, so like I don't even have a specific one to give. Decay is one of the other ones, and then a word that would then also describe
the decay of fall.
Basically, so what you're looking at there is like the 3rd book, which would necessarily parallel with the fall, right, or autumn, that kind of time frame. You might have decay and then something to describe that season in one word. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and I apologize. I have an ego. Matt has an ego, but we keep them in check.
Whoa,
that's crazy.
I don't check my ego. What are you talking about? And what's wrong with Patty having her own universe? What's wrong with that?
I have to deal with it.
Then deal. All I'm saying hey, listen, all I'm saying is I took the time to create a portion of the universe for this, and then not to mention all of the stuff that All Tower itself represents. All Tower Media is the extension of a series of books that my friend Adam and Josh and I have been working on since like high school. So none of them are published. None of them are done.
Good job, though.
We've just been like working on it, but that's a thing. That's why it's All Tower. All Tower Media is just like the media portion of things. When the hell has Matt ever checked? I own that. Did I not?
Instantly.
I immediately. Thank you. Patty says she likes my ego.
It's not an issue of being polite. I've never really seen Matt to be controlled by his ego, like everyone says, but I think birds of a feather. So it's like, just the water's warm, jump in.
We've already talked a little bit about He-Man. Not a whole lot because you haven't really seen it, so it's not something I can like bounce a whole lot off you. I can't be like, hey, no, that's totally fine.
You have to tell me what to be ready for the next time.
You're good. You don't need to do that to me. So because you went and saw Forever Purge, right?
Yes.
I have not. However, I would love for you to tell me all about Forever Purge, okay? Like, I would like to know about it. I don't understand personally how we're like, what is it, 5 movies into that at this point in time?
It's
5
a
movies
fifth
into
movie.
this point in time.
Yes.
It's basically just torture porn, soft core torture porn is what it is. It's like the Saw movies. How are we 6 or 7 movies into that thing at this point in time?
Okay, well, I wouldn't call that soft in any way whatsoever.
If
The
you've
Saw movies.
if you've
Oh,
ever
that's
sat
hardcore,
if
man.
you've ever sat down and watched actual hardcore torture porn, you wouldn't be saying that.
Okay, well then, I haven't. I
There you
will
go.
tell you on this movie, folks. It gets off to a fast start, and if you're even willing to just invest a little bit, I you know what you're getting into. And
Adam, you're
the
forgiven,
writing
by
is
the way.
good. Oh yeah,
He said that he had already typed it. Sorry, carry on. And
It's still funny. It was still good though.
Josh says he
but-
can't stand the Purge movies, and I agree. But you're saying this hits the ground running like out the gate, right?
Yeah, it moves fast enough.
Okay.
It is a quick. I'm not going to compare it to a book or anything, but it does run quick, and it does have some things that you were talking about right now, Matt, about the torture stuff. But it's a bigger universe now, and I can't believe I said that about this type of movie.
Right?
It's on a bigger scale, and if you think about 12 hours of
And
just doing whatever you want to do,
that's
how
kind
can
of
it
the
get
point.
bigger?
That's kind of the point, right? Is as you're going through a movie like this, whenever you're watching the first Purge movie, okay, cool, great. You get the premise. It's a world where chaos reigns supreme for a night as a result of allowing people to just kind of go out and do whatever it is they want to get that out of their system so that this way they live in peace for the rest of the year. By the way, we skipped over this. Richard says, hi. Richard, I appreciate you joining us. If you're still here, apologize. I just now saw that. I had another screen pulled up over the top of my chat box there. I've got it minimized now, and I saw your hi. But you have to continue to like knock the ceiling off of the last one, right? Because if you don't, like, how are you going to maintain a viewer's interest in something like that? That's why Fast and the Furious starts off with just them doing street racing. And then the last movie, they go to space in cars. They literally go
Wait a minute, this one F9.
F9. They go to space in cars. All right. They go to space, Roger, in cars. How is they brought back the guys from Tokyo Drift, and they are now like rocket scientists and stuff and whatever, and they like rig up their cars and they go to space to take out a satellite because you can't like turn it off remotely. You have to manually disable it. At the same time, there are cars in like hot pursuit down here on Earth that have these really high-tech super magnets that are like capable of like dragging other full-size cars along with them. Yet it seems super selective because it's not yanking the bolts out of the cars that they're driving right now. It's super selective on what's magnet worthy. And that's the point. You can't jump from the first Fast and the Furious movie straight to F9, right? You could. It just would be complete bananas. They've kind of eased us into this, but with every single movie, they just keep like adding a little bit more ridiculous over the top of it until we finally go from it's like, well, they were street racing. I personally have watched the first one of those and never watched another one of them ever. Okay. The Purge, I watched the first Purge, and then I watched the Rick and Morty episode that was basically the Purge, and I've got my fill of what that's supposed to be at this point in time. To try to apply a story over the top of it doesn't do any good. All they're trying to do is make each one of the kill scenes just a little bit more elaborate, right? In order to fill this kind of perverse need to see people butcher the crap out of one another, right?
Yes, there was actually a story on this one. There was an A to B, which was surprising, and there were scenes where I first of all, and I want to get back to the F9 in a moment because I think I know where they got the idea. But
it was probably from an internet meme.
Actually, I think the writer got it from watching. Oh my God, the Bruce Willis film where they go and blow up the meteor.
Armageddon.
Armageddon, yes. And a little bit of trivia. Actually, folks, I have a connection to Armageddon. I'll explain it to you in a moment.
Okay.
But actually, I have a connection to several Hollywood movies. But anyway, there's okay. Uh, you send miners to do the job of astronauts.
Yeah.
F9, you send cars to do the job of the astronauts.
Well, that's because
I can see the exact same thing.
they're trying to like take out
Yeah.
a thing for like a weapons system. I don't know. It's
Now in this one, I had flashbacks to the Mogadishu movie, Black Hawk Down. It
Okay.
really felt like it. They're moving in a group. Remember the I forget his name, but remember the 4 guys that can't get into the city, and they decide to go in, the 4 of them,
yeah.
to get to them during the evening. The way they operate and the way they move, I was like, wait a minute, whoa, am I watching Black Hawk Down or am I watching this movie? So there were, I don't know if it was deliberate or just felt that way, but I have to admit there is some humor in this one near the end of the movie. I guess I can say it, but I'm not going to give it away because it's worth watching. There is some serious political commentary in a cheeky way, but there is some hate in it. The Purge. But if you're any fan of the other movies, this one actually might entertain you. Just
Interesting. Well, now I want to know what that is.
The humor at the very end?
Yeah, like what was so
Okay.
funny about it?
Okay, the Forever Purge, as you know, in the prior series, the party of the people lost and they won re-election, and they brought the Purge back.
Ah,
Okay, now apparently, what they came up with, I'm missing the whole point of the show. Oh, yes, okay. Yes, Matt. Thank you, Matt, for that. And I was going to tell everyone's waiting for me to
Call me Josh.
and I'm not. I am biting my lip. I'm like,
Yes.
Matt? And I'm focused on, I don't know why, but it's right there. This is Matt. I don't know why. So when I look over there, it's Matt.
You just need to get a sticky note and hang it right above my head with an arrow pointing down. It says Matt.
Brother, if I could move the camera, you would be like, dude, this guy's going to retire. I'm not going to tell you how many notes I have. And then, don't be a dipshit. That's the 4th note over there.
How's that working out for you?
That's acknowledging my ego. No, it's not. That's why it's hidden behind the lights. I want to show everyone what it looks like.
Fair.
But I saw the other 2 movies last night, folks, and just very quickly, I think you're going to be in surprise for a Jungle Cruise. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Folks, cinema, theater, TV, whatever, we're supposed to be able to forget everything for a little while. And you know, Matt, I lost track of time in the movie Jungle
Wow.
Cruise. And that's a rarity.
So I watched
I think it was fun.
3 movies from home.
Oh, yeah, tell me. Uh-huh.
I watched The Tomorrow War.
Oh, yes, excellent.
I love time travel. That's like my favorite. That's what started this show, was an argument about time travel.
It may need to be revisited.
Maybe. It was the X-Men movie with time travel. Days of Future Past is what started that, because of a continuity issue that I had an issue with, because of when certain pieces of information had occurred and when a character manages to have a conversation with themselves. And I'm like, that right there should be enough to stop all of this from happening. And it's the one scene that just screws the whole thing. And Josh argued with me tooth and nail. And then here we are years later. And he's like, got to be honest, went back, rewatched the first episode. And while the first episode for Spoilercast is kind of janky because we were just basically doing everything from laptops and it was just low quality and all that good stuff, he goes, you were right. And I'm like, yeah! As far as my point went, I was right. And I was very pleased about that. Anyhow, with the other 2 movies that I ended up watching, let's see here.
Oh,
I have Josh says, I have the title of the show, S9, the one where Roger gets all the names right. Boom! Anyway, so yeah, that's the name of this episode now.
sure, Matt.
where Roger gets all the names right. The other 2 movies I watched was Jolt, and then I ended up watching Gunpowder Milkshake. I think that's what it's called, Gunpowder Milkshake. Let me double check that.
Okay, while you're doing that, what about Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt?
So it is Gunpowder Milkshake. and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was fun and ridiculous. But anyway, so the Tomorrow War, my hang up with that, again, time travel being what it is, you have this weird telling of the story to begin with. They start you off with like the stereotypical hook where you have character, like it's all action, like you're mid fight, people are literally raining out of the sky, and
Yeah.
some of them are landing in a pool, and other people are just crashing to the ground, and then suddenly you go to now, and you have Chris Pratt's the character, one of the characters falling out of the sky, and then like you go back like years before, and it's him at home with like his daughter, and they've got like some type of sporting event going on, it's football or whatever, and then there's this portal thing that's happening. I don't quite understand why you would jump back and forth like that, right? Why not just start the movie off with them at the house doing the thing, and then suddenly this portal shows up, right? And people start stepping through. Is that not action enough to be able to like set its hooks at that point in time, and then leave the falling scene as kind of a surprise for later on? It seems like that would be a better way to tell that portion of the story, but that's irrelevant. Long and short of it is that you have established that his character is kind of a science buff. It sounded like he was something of that capacity in the military, but they never really like allude to the fact that he was like a science person in the military. They were just like, he was in the military and he likes the sciences, so he's a school teacher where he does science now. Cool. All right, great. And if the volcano foreshadowing isn't heavy enough for you, then maybe watch that scene one more time, because they basically foreshadow the hook out of that. And then they just reach over there and they go, oh, you should pay attention to this. This kid knows about volcanoes. Hey, just so you know.
Yep, that's right.
Oh my God.
It was funny when they, he's the only kid that wants to answer, if I remember correctly.
He is.
Finally goes to him. And all the kids are like,
volcanoes. Yeah, like they make it super hard to like skip that portion of the thing. Frequently, Josh says, frequently asked questions about time travel and Project Almanac are superior time travel movies. Changed my mind. Project Almanac is one of my favorites, and it is an MTV movie, and they do a really great job at doing time travel. One of the most spot on time travel movies that is basically there. I shouldn't say basically. There's no action. It's all dialogue. It's all set. It's all, I mean, low budget. But it's called, oh my God, I just spaced out on it. Primer is what it's called. And it is terrible. It's the most scientifically accurate, and they do a great job at avoiding paradoxes and things of that nature. But holy crap, it is boring to watch. It is. Project Almanac, on the other hand, was kind of a gift. Like, it showed up as an MTV movie. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It was really good. But you get to this Tomorrow War thing, and they go out of their way to specify, hey, just so you know, in the future, there's only like 500,000 people left, right? And yet they are like, hey, we need to, like, make sure that you're both dead in the future and alive in the now, so this way you can be recruited and sent to the future. But if there's like only 500,000 people left in the future, doesn't that kind of imply that almost everyone is eligible to be sent into the future?
Yeah.
And then they're over here going, hey, you should like prepare us by showing us pictures of the monsters that we're going to be fighting, and like give us some some kind of context and stuff like that. And they're like, no, if we do that, then like no one's going to want to go. But they literally called it a mandatory draft. Hey, Roger, what's a draft?
Well, it could be what I'm feeling right now when the doors open and
Wrong.
the mosquitoes are coming in. A draft, in the American sense of the word, is, they select your name and you go serve.
But
really no chance to get on.
But what if they show you a picture of the monster that you have to go fight? Do you still have to go? If you've
Yeah.
been drafted, do you still have to go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, you do.
huh. So, like, I don't know. Maybe you should have prepared these morons a little bit more.
Yeah, and actually, they
had a
even mentioned
guy-
that in the movie.
They had
But
a
they don't
guy
even
in his like chef's outfit.
chef
and
guard.
everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
what
my
was
god.
that?
At that point, even I was like, dear, this is a meat grinder.
Yeah.
It's just what do they say in Starship Troopers? It's all about the numbers,
It
and
is
they
all about
have
the numbers.
more.
Jesus. So okay, I love Starship Troopers. By the way, fantastic movie. As a matter of fact,
I do too.
Diz was like my ideal woman for years. So that's kind of who I looked for in reality.
Which
Diz
one?
was Diz,
Oh my god, yes, Dina Mayer, man.
right? All right.
Oh, the stuff. Oh,
Mm.
yeah,
Yep.
Patty.
Nope, you're not wrong.
Sorry,
What's the word for dirty pigs again?
Cochinos.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, we weren't being dirty right now, though. We were just being
I'm just-
honest about God's gift. Oh, when I was at Hooters, oh my God. I want to thank the Almighty. I know I said this off air. I want to thank the Almighty for the waiter. She was female.
Waitress.
Well, I understand, it's like actor and actress. They're all actors. So you don't demean them by saying actress. But some people say it, some people don't. So
I mean, you say that, but like I saw on Reddit the other day that somebody was having this discussion where they were like, if you search actor, then it only pulls up men. And somebody responded back going, you should search actress and it will only show you women. So
very good. Very good. So I'm just ignorant. If that's what they're going to say, then that's fine. But the waitress, yeah, thank you. And my coworker that showed up late, I was okay with it.
Fair enough. So
served well. She got
let's
a good
see.
tip.
Josh says Dina Meyer was his crush as well. Love that movie. Patty says
everyone went
I'm okay.
for.
I'm okay with 500,000 people. I would be too. That would be an ideal population. And then Greg has joined us. Hi, Greg.
Yeah, it would be.
What's up, Greg?
Greetings.
Greetings and salutation.
Did you enjoy the movie, though?
Waiter is male. Generation Z use pronouns.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction, cousin. Did you enjoy the movie?
Okay, so
maybe not. Wow. Okay.
My hang up on all movies, and Josh will tell you this, is a good story.
Yes.
Does it tell a good story? No. It shows really good action scenes. As far as the story itself goes, they didn't do a whole... Greg, right now we are talking about The Tomorrow War.
On Amazon Prime?
Yes. Not a lot. Which movie are you talking about? Talking about Tomorrow War. I personally don't think that it has a good story. That's my hang up with it. Because
it's very thin.
Well, it's super thin. Like super thin. Because she's over here going, you're the only person. She doesn't trust him, but she's like, you're the only person that can do this. Wouldn't it make more sense to have, I don't know, soldier that's like emotionally devoid of anything to the main female character from the future? Or why not like use your time machine technology to take all of the remaining 500,000 people out of that failing future, which seems like it's overrun with all the baddies, and jump everybody back over here to the past and then train everyone here in the past while still looking for the answer to where this alien threat comes from, because you kind of know where it's at, and then prepare everyone because you have some time to do that. So you get to leave the failed future and come back here and exist back here. Maybe it's a paradox issue, but they kind of address that, but not really, right? And so you're creating a paradox in and of itself by simply going, hey, guys, we're going to send the creation of the solution, right? We're going to take the solution from the future for the serum against the females, and we're going to send it back here to the past. And then you're going to use that in the past to stop the threat, which means that you would never have gone to the future to get the material that you needed to create the thing. It's weird. It's weird that it kind of goes out of its way to make this kind of like odd, quasi paradox things and all of that good stuff. One thing that I do need to make sure that I do as of right now is mention our sponsors, because we got sponsors for our show, and that is Swift Lifestyles. You need to get over there to Swift Lifestyles. I'm going to put up the banner down there across the bottom, swiftlifestyles.com, where you get a discount code from us, ATM Life15, and you'll get 15% off their merchandise. So if you're feeling a little bit sluggish, you're feeling a little bit slow and tired and all of that good stuff, maybe go check them out. Totally worth getting over there and jumping that out. It does, Greg, sound like Edge of Tomorrow. It's similar in certain respects, but Edge of Tomorrow actually does kind of a weird, not really time travel. It's more like Groundhog's Day meets an action movie for Edge of Tomorrow. I love that. What did Josh say here? That goes into movie hating. That goes into a movie hating it and wants it to change his mind 90% of the time. Doesn't. I'm still of the mind that Roper hates most. I don't actually hate most movies. I love most movies. What takes me out of a movie, Josh and Roger, is when a movie has the opportunity to tell a good story.
Green Knight.
I want to see that still. Man of Steel is a prime example, and it's the one that I will go to forever. Okay, that movie has the potential of being a great movie, and it just fails across the board at every opportunity it gets. And while I would love to get into that again, I recommend that you all go back and listen to prior shows, and you can definitely hear me yell and scream about Man of Steel. You can hear me yell and scream about Batman versus Superman. And if Allie, if you're watching, I know you're going to comment on that, but you're probably not, so that's okay. The other movie that I ended up watching was Gunpowder Milkshake, and that was fun, but it's like the female cast version of essentially John Wick minus the dogs getting killed, right? Like, it's a whole world full of basically people that are operating with like assassin's capacity. Everyone's an assassin. Everyone's a killer of some variety. But at the same time, it's also not just John Wick. It's also kind of got a touch of The Professional as well, because they've got this little girl that's kind of orphaned. Well, not kind of. She's straight up orphaned as a result of the main character straight up murdering her dad. And then she's like, "I'm your apprentice now. I'm going with you, and I'm gonna be your apprentice now." And so that's the part that makes me think of The Professional. Greg says parts of Man of Steel are good, and parts are hot garbage. Josh says yes, Man of Steel sucks in its current form. I like how you added the caveat of current form.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything to it.
Patty, Team Batman, absolutely. I don't just get my powers from a stupid son.
This is BS, Matt. This is the
What?
crap that I have to deal with.
What?
Pay attention to Roper. She wrote that in the text.
Don't call her out. We know that. You are listening to me. I know he's listening to me, Patty. I don't feel super bad. Plus, I'm not just talking to Roger. I'm also talking to everybody in the chat. That's why I'm paying attention to all that stuff. So, what up? Anyway, so Man of Steel is just, in my opinion, bad. It's the foundation of all of the future nonsense of that story arc. Everything DC ended up doing built upon that is just crap. And it could have been so good. I ended up telling my roommate, Hannah, I said, hey, these were my ideas. This is how I think this story should have gone, because I offered up a solution to it. I was like, hey, I think that like this is a better way to tell this story. And after I told that to her, she immediately was like, holy shit, that is a completely better story. Creepy, cynical, Pa Kent sucks. Yes, my hang up there is that Roger with a D from Patty there. And you're getting the bird and everything. Look at that. For those of you that are listening to us post, and you're listening to us in podcast form, because we do things on Spotify or iHeartRadio and stuff like that, wherever it is you listen to your podcast, if you would like to see all of the comments, our beautiful smiling faces, all of that good stuff, join us in checking us out on YouTube or live. If you get the chance, we do this every other week. We are rapidly approaching the end of the episode here, and we've actually hit most all of the topics except one. And I'm not going to mention what it is because it is a big topic, and I'm not going to do that at this point in time. Instead, I am going to request that everyone, again, like, subscribe, share us, pass the information around, get us out there a little bit more, allow other people to join in on the conversations. I enjoy seeing the comments. I know Roger is doing the same thing as well. He's watching the comments for me, and whenever I'm talking, and then whenever he's talking, I'm doing the same thing. We've got this little bit of back and forth thing going on here. It works in the backgrounds. I've got other people messaging me. They show up in my little feed up here in the corner, and occasionally I'll check those as I'm going along. I'm trying to follow a flow that we've got worked out here, and part of that flow is pointing out all of our sources, whether it's our Teespring account for our merchandise. You can find most of our merchandise on our Facebook page. Like us, follow us on Facebook. Join up for all of our giveaways. We try to do those on a semi-irregular basis. Check out all of the stuff by D.A. Roberts, all of the books and things of that nature that he's a portion of, all of the podcasts that he's a portion of, everything over here at NDB Media. You got a bunch of shows. What shows you got going on right now?
As a matter of fact, we have, of course, Monday Night America, which trades with the Nightmare Hunter, which will be on this Monday. And we do have an extensive schedule. Tomorrow morning, we'll be on Sports Talk with the Guys. I don't know if we're going to do something on Saturday night because DA is not going to be on, but it was suggested that we do a paranormal program. I don't know. We may, but there's nothing on calendar at the moment.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of programs, folks, and it takes a lot of time to go through them. And we do. I'll have them prepared and maybe have them on screen for next time.
Nice. You have other stuff that you need to bring into focus here? Any other projects that you're working on? I know that Josh is working on a story, and he's planning on completing this one this time around. I know that he's also been kind of in the works of putting together a podcast of his own that he would like to eventually start putting something wheels to pavement kind of thing. I don't know if where he's at with that. So it's just been talk at this point, as far as I'm aware.
We're really going to be going into some really entertainment coverage here on Out Tower Media and NDB Media. We have Spoilercast, and now we're going to have Trekking Across the Universe, which is going to be on Thursday night at a very late hour in the month of August. And it's going to be at a better hour. But right now, I'm training a lot of people for personal stuff. So that one's going to begin on August 12th, Lower Decks. So I'm inviting everyone. Gmo, my daughter, will probably be with me, but if not, I am looking for a co-host. We're going to be talking Star Trek, and we're also going to be talking some other items because there's a lot of stuff on Disney, Paramount Plus. It's even Amazon. But, folks, Trekking Across the Universe, Tattoo, begins August 12th officially, and it'll be at 9 p.m. Pacific in the month of August only. It's going to be the earlier start time on Thursdays.
Nice. So there's plenty of us putting content and things of that nature out there. I know that Josh gets on pretty regularly and does a lot of Let's Plays and streams and things of that nature. Josh, you don't have to continue blowing up my phone. It's just constantly creating a distraction in my ear. So you don't need to be doing that.
He's doing that to you?
He is. He's talking to me without talking to me.
Josh does it to Matt. Patty does it to Roger.
Yeah. And then he tells me not to call him out. He's like, don't call me out. And I'm like, that's fine. I won't call you out. And so I haven't said anything this entire time until like right now. So,
well, I got the bird.
We're just going against it. So here we are. Very last thing. Make sure if you guys feel the need to, get over and check out all of our merchandise. We even have shower curtains now, so you can quite literally shower with the cast. Boom. I've been so excited for that.
I apologize. We didn't do the likes. Very quickly, may I?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Joshua Dalton, Miranda Jade Moore, Roger Peacock, Ola Takayo, Richard Sullivan, Cheryl Jones, and then I didn't write them all down. Patty Figueroa Noriega, Tony Kanapka, Michael Day, and Luis Noriega. Hopefully, one of these days, my brother will decide to join us because he loves this stuff as well. Hopefully, he'll join us one of these days. Love you, brother. That's going to you.
Yeah.
Matt.
Oh, no. that was me sending that back to Josh because he was like, I sent
Oh.
one message and he sent a bird. And I said, love you, brother, because I knew it would hit all of the medias. And here's Josh. Oh, no, Matt, I call out. Josh gets called out. Yep, exactly. And then, hey, we got 50 stars. Hell yes. I love getting stars.
You want to tell people what the stars are very quickly?
So whenever you're following us or you're watching us on Facebook, it's a way of sending over actual tangible money to us. And a lot of times Josh uses that as means of influencing gameplay within games that he's playing. So if, there's something that he can do differently within the context of the game, or whatever the case may be, people can send over stars in order to be able to financially support us. It's not a huge commitment, and it definitely benefits us in regards of being able to put out more content and all that good stuff. Same as purchasing some of the merchandise. So it's basically just flipping us a tip. Hey, yeah, look, see, that's exactly what she did. Stars are like a tip. It's exactly right. See?
Okay. I'd like to say that starting in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a promo here. I'm offering it to Matt that we're going to be giving a book away. Provided we hit our mark. Matt, are we at the highest number for likes on this program at 9?
9, yeah, for this one.
Is that?
Yep.
No, that's the highest for Spoilercast, right?
Yeah, for Spoilercast.
Okay, so here we go, folks. Next week, the mark is going to be 10 stars. At 10 stars, we're going to give out a book.
So
it'll be one of the Ragnarok Rising, yes.
Likes, loves, or cares, just 10 is what we're getting to. All right.
We'll take them. And then we're just going to move up from there. And that's what we did on the other programs. Believe it or not, I think we arbitrarily said 15. Yeah. And now we're well into the 40s now.
Nice. And that's really what we need, is setting those milestones, kind of like challenging Mr. DA for the gold Arugaroo that I ended up making. We definitely need to start.
Check it out. We just got a 10th one. All Tower Media. Thank you, Josh. You're a cheater, pumpkin eater, but it's okay. We'll take it.
I mean, you know what? Okay, here's the deal. I say that we make it 15 straight across the board, just like you did last time. Reason being is because I like to push just outside of our bounds, right? If we can hit 10, we can definitely hit 15. And I think that we need to do 15. That's going to be my goal. Okay, we're going to get 15 likes this next time around. Sound good?
That's absolutely awesome. I'm going to leave it to Matt to do that, but I am offering a book. So it's going to be one of the DA books, unfortunately.
Heck yeah. So, what do you mean, unfortunately?
Well, some people might say, oh, well, how much is he going to give? I said, it's a $4.99 book.
That is true. Josh says that he is on YouTube. He didn't do it. Night, Greg. Have a good evening. We are going to go ahead and close out the show right now as Greg says goodbye. So
you're already at 12.
Hey, see, I'm telling you. That's why I'm saying you got to get that.
The bearded beast, Adam Shepard. Mr. Shepard. Thank you. That's a rarity.
Let's see here. I got to find where's my close button? I don't see my close button anymore. It's under brand. Oh, no.
It's at the very top. Oh, I see. It's not under brand?
Nope, it's not under brand. I got that's Allie's intro, and then we got the 30-second countdown. I don't actually have the closeout, the goodbye piece. That's okay. Not the end of the world. We'll just close it out right here like this. Guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in and liking, subscribing, sharing us, as I've been mentioning this entire time. Get over, check out swiftlifestyles.com if you haven't already done so, in order to be able to get any and all of your energy needs. And I, again, am going to be purchasing myself some gear. Like, subscribe, love one another, take care of one another. By the way, as we close out, we are at 14. We just need one more. So I'm just saying, we're going to go ahead and call it right there.
There it is.
15. Right there. Like I said, got to get that stretch. So, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in and checking us out. I hope everyone has a very safe evening, and go see some movies. Have a good night.